Have you ever wondered how quickly a dream can turn into a nightmare? Sometimes life feels like a whirlwind of luxury, parties, wealth, and connections with powerful people. It seems as if the whole world is at your fingertips, just waiting to be claimed. But what happens when the dazzling lights become blinding, when friendly smiles hide masks of deception, and promises of a fairy tale life are nothing but mirages in the desert? Today, we delve into a story where everything is twisted, where the allure of a glamorous life beside a self-proclaimed prince leads to broken lives and shattered dreams. In a city defined by extravagance, Dubai's luxurious penthouses and exclusive VIP parties conceal a sinister darkness. Beneath the glitz and glamour lies a world of manipulation, violence, and untold horrors. At the center of this tragic story is Maria Kovalchuk, a 20-year-old Ukrainian model who came to Dubai in March 2025, chasing dreams of an international modeling career. Her social media was filled with snapshots of a young woman full of ambition, determined to succeed. But on March 10th, she sent her mother a message that would be her last known communication. "Mom, I'm staying in a fancy hotel. There's a cool party, and I'm talking to some interesting people. They say they can help me get ahead." Days later, Maria's body was found abandoned on the side of a highway in Dubai, broken, bruised, and unrecognizable. Her arms, legs, and spine were shattered. No personal belongings were recovered. Her phone was missing, leaving no trace of what had happened in her final hours. Whispers of secret VIP parties and mysterious men with powerful connections spread like wildfire. Influential figures, supposedly untouchable, were rumored to indulge in parties where innocence was preyed upon, and the price of pleasure was blood. One name stood out: Michael Smith, a man of European origin who had come to Dubai 5 years earlier, carving out a niche for himself in the service and entertainment industry. He was known for recruiting young women from Europe, promising them fame, wealth, and opportunities. But whispers suggested something far more sinister. Michael was a middleman who lured girls to exclusive parties where power dynamics were brutal and consent was a blurred line. It was Michael who allegedly introduced Maria to a wealthy, influential man, an enigmatic figure who admired European beauty and sought a trophy wife. But Michael wasn't alone. Adam Collins, a European businessman with deep roots in Dubai, was also linked to the elite social circles. Whether he ran exclusive restaurants or organized events for the ultra-rich, his influence was undeniable. Rumors claimed Adam hosted private gatherings where women were seen as accessories, decorative objects to enhance the night's decadence. The investigation into Maria's death was shrouded in secrecy. Official statements were vague, and the truth remained hidden behind wealth and influence. Maria became a tragic symbol, a young woman lured by promises, ensnared by deceit, and discarded when her usefulness had run out. This is a story of illusions, of promises that turn deadly, and a city where luxury masks the darkest of secrets. The dream of a glamorous life became a nightmare, and the line between desire and destruction was far too thin. As we dig deeper, the shadows grow darker, and the truth becomes harder to face. Are you ready to confront the reality behind the glamour? This won't be easy, but it's a story that must be told. The descent into darkness often begins with promises of luxury, wealth, and the allure of an extraordinary life. For Maria Kovalchuk, a young Ukrainian model hungry for success, the invitation to an exclusive party in Dubai seemed like an opportunity, an escape from the mundane and a chance to seize the glamorous life she'd always dreamed of. But the glittering promises masked a far more sinister reality. Rumors swirled that Maria had been brought into the closed party through a network of intermediaries, men, like Michael and Adam, who were known for luring young, ambitious women with talk of fame and fortune. These parties were whispered about in exclusive circles, a place where power, wealth, and darkness intertwined. At the heart of it all was a mysterious Arab figure, a man described as tall, striking, and dangerously influential. He was called a sheik by some, a prince by others, But the truth was as elusive as he was. Some claimed he was connected to a powerful ruling family, while others questioned if he held any real title at all. What was certain was his ability to draw women into a world of opulence and excess, one where escape was often impossible. The last known trace of Maria was on March 10, 2025, when she contacted her mother. Her message, brimming with excitement, spoke of a lavish hotel, fascinating people, and promises of powerful connections. What she didn't know was that this party would be her final step into the abyss. The gathering wasn't just a party. It was a private affair held in a skyscraper hotel, with an entire VIP floor reserved for select guests. Access was tightly controlled. Only those with the right connections could enter. Hotel staff later recalled seeing a group of young women, radiant and carefree, escorted by men who spoke a blend of Arabic and English. Laughter and flashes of phones capturing glamorous selfies masked the danger lurking beneath. As the night progressed, muffled shouts and sounds of struggle were reportedly heard, but no one dared intervene. In places like this, discretion is the law. Security often answers only to the wealthy and powerful, and interruptions are unwelcome. By morning, the hotel's corridors were eerily silent. Rooms once filled with laughter and music now stood empty. Personal belongings were scattered, a chaotic aftermath of whatever had transpired. Maids who arrived later were met with unsettling traces of a violent struggle. Broken items, scattered accessories, but no explanation. The men were gone, and the women had vanished. Fear and loyalty kept mouths shut. For 2 agonizing days, Maria's whereabouts remained a mystery. Calls went unanswered, and her social media fell silent. Panic set in when one of Maria's friends, who hadn't attended the party, raised the alarm, but the authorities, wary of wealthy patrons, seemed slow to respond. Then came the discovery. Maria was found dumped on the side of a highway outside Dubai. Her body was broken, arms, legs, and spine shattered. The brutality was undeniable. A passerby, horrified by the sight, called for an ambulance. How long she had lain there, abandoned and bleeding, no one knew. Investigators speculated she'd been thrown from a moving car, left to die as a loose end. Theories erupted. What had happened behind the hotel's closed doors? Was Maria's fate sealed the moment she caught the eye of a powerful man? Some whispered about sadistic entertainment, where innocence was devoured by power. Others pointed fingers at the enigmatic Arab figure, a man said to keep a harem of foreign women trapped in a gilded cage of sexual servitude. Stories were murky, the truth concealed by wealth and influence. But the horror didn't end with Maria. Another girl, whom we'll call Jessica Evans, vanished that same night. No body was found, no statement from the authorities, only rumors of a fate worse than death. Whispers spoke of brutal punishments for those who resisted, punishments that left no survivors. The story spread like wildfire, igniting outrage and fear. Yet the UAE's strict laws and veiled investigations kept details scarce. The truth, entangled in whispers and shadows, remains elusive, another casualty of wealth and power. The line between fantasy and nightmare had blurred, and for Maria and Jessica, the cost was everything. 3 girls, one murdered, one found barely alive, and the third vanished without a trace. The whispers of a gang crime painted a grim picture. Speculation ran wild. Some dismissed the rumors, insisting Dubai was safe, while others claimed a darker truth, an insidious network supplying models to the wealthy, a system well-oiled and deeply entrenched. The truth, as always, lay somewhere in between, obscured by power and silence. Maria Kovalchuk lay broken in a hospital bed, her life hanging by a thread. Unconfirmed reports suggested she had spoken, possibly even given a recorded statement. Allegedly, she described a ritual where fear was the tool of control and coercion was the unspoken rule. The details remained murky, guarded by those who preferred shadows over scrutiny. But the nightmare had already taken shape, a night of luxury and pleasure twisting into violence and bloodshed. Some said the mysterious sheik, the man who cast a long, dangerous shadow, had personally punished a girl for defiance. Others whispered that he merely looked the other way, indifferent as brutality unfolded before him. In either case, that fateful party marked the end of Maria's normal life. She became an expendable object, a casualty of power and excess. Law enforcement in the UAE, known for protecting its image at all costs, moved predictably. High-profile cases often vanish beneath bureaucratic layers, sanitized to protect the reputation of a glittering city. But Maria's case was different. She was a Ukrainian citizen, and the story refused to be silenced. Social media erupted. Telegram channels, activist pages, and a statement from lawyer Katerina Gordon all pointed to a network of abuse, trafficking, and violence. The posts brought forward haunting echoes. Other women who went to Dubai on contracts, only to disappear. Some returned bruised and silent, too terrified to speak. The Dubai police were forced to respond, and an investigation began. Surveillance footage from the hotel showed a group of models and wealthy men arriving on March 10th. Hours later, some men left, but not the women. The elevator to the VIP floor hadn't been called, at least not by the usual means. Hotel security, personally employed by the sheik, claimed they saw nothing and did nothing. Closed party is sacred, no questions, no interruptions. The guards were key witnesses, but their testimony remained sealed. The mysterious sheik, shielded by wealth and connections, was untouchable. Some sources claimed he belonged to a powerful family. Others dismissed him as a fraud, a playboy hiding behind money and influence. Regardless, his patrons were untouchable. Official inquiries faced stone walls. The UAE authorities deflected questions, and the sheik himself was unreachable. Ukraine's foreign ministry pushed for information, but cooperation was limited. The case slipped into obscurity, whispers replacing facts. Meanwhile, Michael Smith, the man who may have introduced Maria to this nightmare, vanished. Sightings placed him at a European airport a week after the incident, while Adam Collins, another suspect, also went off the grid. Offshore accounts and shell companies led nowhere. Girls who may have attended the party were impossible to track down. Intimidation or bribery ensured their silence. Maria remained a symbol, her survival a rare flicker of hope. Yet her injuries were catastrophic: spinal damage, shattered limbs, pain so severe she hovered between consciousness and oblivion. Some reports claimed she was comatose. Others suggested she was awake but incapable of speech. Surgeons worked relentlessly to stabilize her, but her recovery was agonizingly slow. Investigators tried to speak to her, but the interview bore little fruit. Whatever she had seen, whatever she had suffered, was buried deep, locked away by trauma and fear. Leaked rumors painted a grim picture. Maria had been held against her will, brutalized by a man she thought was a prince. Desperation had driven her to send a final pleading message, an unheeded cry for rescue. The party was more than just excess. It was a cage, and the man she called Sheik was not a savior, but a predator. The truth remains tangled in privilege and power, lost in a city where wealth silences justice. The nightmare continues, whispered, in corners, retold in fragments. Another broken dream hidden beneath Dubai's gleaming skyline. The message may never have reached its intended recipient, but it was sent, a desperate plea that vanished into silence. What followed was a twisted labyrinth of half-truths, accusations, and denials. Bloggers speculated that the case would be quietly buried, silenced by those in power who could not afford a scandal. Others insisted it would reach court, too high profile to ignore, especially with international eyes watching. Months passed before the UAE authorities, under mounting pressure, announced that several people present at the party were now wanted. No names were released, and the air was thick with uncertainty. The sheik himself remained a ghost. Perhaps he had already fled the country, or shielded himself behind layers of legal protection. Diplomacy and privilege can weave a cloak thick enough to deflect even the sharpest accusations. The investigation was a mess. fragmented, murky, and driven by the status of the accused rather than the pursuit of justice. Yet Maria Kovalchuk's name refused to be buried. The resonance of her story spread far beyond the UAE, a symbol of the darkness lurking behind wealth and glamour. After months of outrage, a handful of the sheikh's entourage stood trial in Dubai, charged with violence, illegal imprisonment, and grievous bodily harm. But the man at the center of it all, the one whose name was whispered but never confirmed, was out of reach. Rumors circulated of political pressure, attempted bribes, and veiled threats. In the end, justice was partial and unsatisfying. Maria's condition slowly improved, but her future remained uncertain. The injuries she suffered had shattered not just her body, but her dreams of a modeling career. According to reports, she returned to her homeland to continue a long and grueling recovery, one that would demand not just physical strength, but the will to reclaim a life ripped away. Her story became a cautionary tale, how beauty and ambition can lure the vulnerable into a world of luxury, power, and predators. Experts acknowledged a bitter truth. So long as wealth craves forbidden indulgences and power bends the law, young women will continue to disappear. The temptation of easy money remains potent, and justice is too often a pawn in the hands of the influential. Still, every publicized tragedy leaves a mark. Each high-profile case becomes a warning, an echo in the darkness that might save the next girl before she makes a fatal choice. If even one young woman rethinks a dubious offer, then perhaps these stories were not in vain. But for Maria and those who never came back, the cost was unspeakable. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more disturbing true crime stories. Leave your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Let us know what you think. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.